You, Kitty, what are you doing? Raise a roof? Raise it? Okay. Wow, I have a lot written for this to be filmed in 30 minutes. Let's do it, bro. Hey friends, I hope you're doing well and having a great day so far. We're back, baby. Another episode of bad lighting. But it's okay because it's not the lighting that matters, it's the message. Put the weapon down. There was two things that I actually wanted to talk about in this episode. The first one is decision making, because I've been having to do a lot of decision making lately. It's been like all kinds of decision making, right? I feel like I've just learned a lot about how I make decisions, and I feel like there's a lot of growth that's happened there, which has been really nice. The second thing that I wanted to talk about is these exercises that I am going to be doing for a project of mine for 2025 that I just made the decision of like, yeah, I really want to do this. It's a really big project that is going to take a lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of love, and a lot of self-discovery on my end, in the manner of wanting to heal some old wounds so that I can write about my past honestly. Hopefully that doesn't give it away. Let's jump right into it and we'll see how long this video lasts. Yeah, decision making has been interesting for me because I used to really be intimidated by making decisions because I wasn't really encouraged growing up to make my own decisions. I think that the choices that I would have made were out of alignment for the caretakers that I was around. They knew that I wasn't going to make decisions that aligned to their moral values. That was probably really scary for them. So in the end, I didn't get to learn how to collect the information to make really good decisions until I was 32. Like, I ran everything through my mom. She was the filter to tell me if I was doing something stupid or not, which is silly because of course, I loved her, but we are very different people. And for a long time, I thought that we were not very different. But I think that was because of the trauma bond between us. So yeah, I've tried to leverage techniques to help me with decision making. And one of those is truly flipping a coin. I do my best to hand it over to Mother Nature and let the universe be the guiding light that I need. Because man, I can really get in my head and I can overthink things. And that is when I know that I will make the fucking wrong decision. When I get into a ruminating, stuck mindset, I know that that's not going to get me the answer that I need. It wasn't until doing somatic work to understand what my body was telling me. It wasn't until meditating to where I could calm my mind enough to be able to have this still calmness within me to just have the answers show up. I used to do pros and cons lists, which I still do sometimes, but at the beginning of 2022, when I would make big decisions, I would write out pros and cons lists, but it would turn into an infatuation. I would just keep adding to it. It wouldn't be like I'm gonna sit down for an hour, figure out what this list is, and then when the hour's over, that's it. I would start the list one day and then just keep coming back every day and think of something new, which was just pushing along the overthinking. Honestly, it created more walls for me to make the decision. I remember hearing about this from my therapist and from a few others that were really encouraging me to learn to meditate, and I didn't understand it. Like, I didn't understand how getting quiet and letting my heart guide me was helpful. And I think that was because I was impatient. I didn't think that putting the ball down and taking a break from it would actually be beneficial. I'm just over here juggling the options forever, because I want to see every perspective of the ball, right? Like, I want to see every angle rotated, put it under different lights to see, is there anything that I'm missing? That was because I didn't trust my intuition. I didn't have really any understanding or belief in an intuition. And that's what meditating gave me. Meditating and starting a spiritual practice is what gave me the ability to put the options the fuck down Like, and this was over every single decision. This wasn't over just like the big ones. No. Every decision I would spin in circles for days because I didn't trust myself. I didn't have a belief system that I would choose the right thing. I would overthink it and never put the options down to be like, maybe if I just take a break from it, then the answer will just come to me. But that is all I do now, really. Of course, when I have to make a quick decision and I'm just kind of stuck someplace, I'll flip a coin. I will bring the topics into meditation and specifically have a game plan to focus on those things in the meditation. I will pull a tarot card. I do my best to not cling to the options because I think that was also a hindrance. So in the overthinking of the options, I would be also writing storylines behind the options that were not true. And yeah, it doesn't help you get to decision any quicker. And I've learned that my higher self knows the answer. I just have to be quiet enough to hear it. And that takes patience. And I didn't have a lot of that. The picture that I see is like myself holding the shoulders of myself and like shaking myself, trying to get the answers out of me quicker and with reason behind it because I had to justify it for myself. Yeah, I wrote a lot of things. So I've been trying to remove the pressure from myself about making the wrong decision and instead move into the mindset of whatever resonates with you is the right decision for now. When we humans are confronted with a chance to make a decision, which isn't that all of what life really is making decisions. We normally have this innate knowing or feeling that's probably from our highest self of what choice would actually push us towards our growth. But we've become so good at overcomplicating things and running it through our minds, which actually distorts it terribly. We start moving farther and further away from that choice because we're writing all these stories about what the decisions could mean in our minds. Plus, we're so influential that if you struggle with codependency, then you take your decisions to other people to get their reactions and or validation for what the correct decision would be, which causes even more distortion to come into play because they're not you. They don't know you enough to know what decision is best to move you towards your goals. Only you know this. But we want to be liked and loved, and we think that doing what others would do is how we remain connected to people and that we will remain belonging somewhere. Isn't that the truth? So we've talked about how everybody has these different views of you, which creates this beautiful kaleidoscope of who you are to everyone around you. But it's like the person that you go to is only going to give you an answer for the version of you that they see you as, which isn't the whole picture. Unfortunately, and fortunately, nobody can know you completely in the way that you know yourself. I didn't believe that for a while. I think that was a huge reason why I leaned into trauma bonding a lot with people because I thought if you knew all of my complexities, then you could know me fully. It was because I was trying to fill a void, an internal void, with external things, which just isn't possible. It was a part of my patterns. Also, I wouldn't look like the failure. I could turn around and point the finger at somebody else and be like, you told me to do this. So it was a fear of taking responsibility for my life as well. I also wrote a lot. Damn. I've been trying to sit with the options available to me. And by that, I mean not repressing the task of choosing, but also not obsessively ruminating about it and causing all this alchemical reactions to happen in my body, which are making emotions get tied into choices. I've been given the insight on what decision is best for me at the most random times in this way, which means that I've had to drop the control of it all, including when I will know what's best for me. It's holding the options in this really open, loving space, asking my higher power to join me in this task because I know that I make the best decisions with her by my side and I generate what I want the outcome to be of making this decision, and then I let it go. I continue on with my day, staying open and loving and knowing that anything could be a possibility, that even new options could surface in the time that I'm waiting for an answer. So yeah, I think the best advice I can give about decision making is to not grip so fucking tightly to getting an answer and doing your best to clearly outline the options for yourself. I think that means writing out the details of the options that don't include fantasized storylines. That way you are being clear to yourself, to your higher self, and to your higher power about what the options are, and you're not having to ruminate about it. I don't know, when I'm thinking about this is like, there are times when I felt like the options I had for a decision were embarrassing. I would like hide the embarrassing details from myself, which I think just added more time to getting to a conclusion. So be honest with yourself about the details of the options, about the details of like what this decision means to you. Not in a fantasized way, even if it feels silly, even if it feels embarrassing, being honest with yourself and with your higher power, I think is just expediting the process. Be gentle with yourself. It's tough at first to like be honest with yourself. I think that that level of honesty expedites the process, but also invites your truest self into the conversation as well. So yeah, decision making is not fucking simple, and it's scary sometimes, especially when there's like a impending deadline. That makes me want to put it off even fucking more. But that's my immaturity surfacing, right? That's my immaturity being like, this is too scary. I don't want to do this. And there's a deadline tied to it too. So it's scary and impending doom. No. But it comes with practice as well. Even the smallest decisions, again, like dinner, I've done it with tasks and like chores that I've had to do. There's always a way to practice these skills. And I encourage you to try. You know, if decision making is hard for you, I get it. I really do. But nothing gets easier if it isn't practiced. Like I said, isn't that all life is making decisions? So I guarantee you that there is an opportunity right now for you to practice it. Just saying. Yeah, so some questions that I have for you that I would love to have you respond in the comments below is, what are some ways that you find helpful to make decisions on things? And also, do you struggle with making decisions? If you've never really struggled with decision making, do you know why? Do you know why it's just easy for you to make decisions? I would love to hear what you have to say, because wow, that's fascinating. To never have struggled with making decisions? Couldn't be me. Okay, cool. Then the last thing that I wanted to talk about are these two exercises that just literally came to me while I was doing random shit. Like Mother Nature just dropped it on me and was like, bow, how do you like that? And I'm like, what the fuck? I'm watching a show, dude. What do you mean? But yes, so back to what I was talking about this project for 2025. Man, I don't even know how to say this without even like just giving it the fuck away. It'll take some time to get to a point where it goes into the next stage of, man, just trust me. But basically, to do the work needed on this project next year, I need to do healing work to be able to engage with it as honestly as I want to. To do that, I knew that I needed to do some more personal development and healing work around, you guessed it, family of origin wounding. Great, love that. So the first exercise is going to help me understand my belief systems. The goal of it is I want to see how my belief systems have, one, been enacted, like who or what created this belief in me. Then I want to see how that one belief has morphed over time as I have learned new information. It's cool because it's incorporating my inner child and my inner teen self. I really want to hear from them because they are the ones that experienced it. So I think it's going to be really healing to give them the space to speak, but also having my adult self come into the conversation and be like, you are so valid for having this belief system. But do you remember when we learned that belief system is actually not true? I really just want to do that with all of my belief systems, which will take a significant amount of time. But in the end, I think it's going to be so beneficial, not only for me, but also for my inner child and my inner teen, so that they can also relearn that nothing stays the same. the more that we learn and the more that we experience things, the more shifts are going to happen. And I think that is going to make them less scared of change. Change is super scary. It doesn't have to be. Okay, and then the second exercise that I want to do is basically a part of this project is character development. And that means I need to uncover memories and emotions tied to those memories. The only way I thought to do this was I want to sit down with this person in mind and I want to go through the emotion wheel. If you don't know what an emotion wheel is, I'll put one up on the screen so that you can see that it's basically listing all of the emotions that humans can feel. I want to go through that wheel and correlate how and when that person has made me feel that emotion. Because I think that's going to unpack a lot of things for me, but I think it's also going to help me with my memory. I think because of a lot of things, I struggle with memory loss. I think there's actual physical damage to brain tissue. I think that substance use for how long I was like really in my addictions, being in a chronic state of survival. I think that there's a lot of gaps in my childhood that I don't have memories because I was in a parasympathetic response state and my brain just didn't prioritize writing memories. But they're lodged in my system. Like my body still holds them and I need to get them out. So I think that just really leaning into the somatic feeling of what that emotion means to me and hoping that memories will surface. It will also help jog my memory about significant events in my life that I think will help me depict these events as honestly as possible. So that one is going to take a lot of time. I would love to hear your thoughts on those exercises. Did they sound interesting to you? Would that be something that you would engage with? Anyway, yeah. I think that's all I got, y'all. I hope that what was talked about today was helpful to you. If it was, definitely drop me a comment and let me know what did you find helpful to hear. If you'd like this video, definitely smash the thumbs up button, click the subscribe button, and ding dong the bell if you want to see more videos like this in the future. Thank you again for choosing to spend your time with me today. It really means a lot that you guys show up and listen and hang out with me for this time. I can't wait to see you guys next week. I hope you guys had a lovely holiday, and I hope you guys have a beautiful new year. Until I see you guys next time, be well, friends.